to a new installment from In Solidum Lawyers. Today, we invite you on a journey through the universe of Ecuadorian criminal law. Beyond its intricacies and complexities, criminal law stands as a cornerstone of our legal system. It ensures justice in situations where the norms and values of our society are at stake. That's why it's essential for us to tackle this topic, unraveling its mysteries and addressing the concerns many have our day to day. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone curious about understanding our justice system better, we encourage you to stay with us. Throughout this video, we aim to make those basic concepts and definitions, which can sometimes seem distant or challenging to grasp, more accessible. So without further ado, let's embark on this journey together through the fascinating world of criminal law in Ecuador. When we speak of criminal law, we're discussing a branch of law that we've all heard of at some point. It's one of the fundamental pillars of holding our societal coexistence, but let's delve deeper into its definition and scope. Criminal law is above all a tool through which society, represented by the state, safeguards its most cherished values and principles. When certain behaviors threaten these values, such as life, physical integrity, or property, criminal law steps in, labeling these behaviors as crimes and setting penalties for the perpetrators. But it's not just a set of norms stating this is forbidden. It's a complex system aiming to balance society's protection needs with individuals' fundamental rights. Hence, it not only points out what one shouldn't do, but also establishes the limits and conditions under which the state can exert its punitive power. This means it doesn't just identify what a crime is, but also regulates how, when, and to what extent it can be penalized. Criminal law also implies a re-educational and reintegration vision. Beyond punishment, it strives for the individual to recognize their mistake and productively reintegrate into society. Thus, the Ecuadorian penal system not only focuses on penalization, but also on safety and rehabilitation measures, ensuring that the response to a crime is proportional, fair, and oriented toward reintegration. Therefore, discussing criminal law means addressing a set of norms and principles mirroring our notions of justice, fairness, and coexistence, crafted to uphold order and peace in our society while always respecting individuals' fundamental rights. Walking down the street, turning on the TV, or during dinner conversations, we often hear the term crime. But what exactly is a crime and how is it legally conceived in Ecuador? A crime fundamentally is a breach, a violation of the norms we've established as a society to regulate our coexistence. It's an action or an omission that, due to its nature, is harmful to either society or an individual, and hence is prohibited and penalized. However, not every wrongful or morally questionable act is a crime. For a behavior to be considered criminal, it must be explicitly stipulated in our penal legislation. In Ecuador, this legal framework is the Comprehensive Organic Penal Code, known as COIP. The COIP specifically outlines which actions or omissions constitute crimes and the respective penalty for each. It's crucial to stress that for an act to be deemed a crime, it's not enough for it to be described in the COIP. It must also meet certain criteria such as intent, and in some cases the realization of harm. Thus, the law doesn't just seek to punish the act itself, but to understand the context and circumstances under which it occurred. Hence, the concept of a crime transcends a mere definition. It embodies a profound analysis of what we as a society deem unacceptable and worthy of a penalty. It represents our values, expectations, and vision of justice. Daily lives and in the media, we often hear about crimes and misdemeanors. However, the distinction between the two is not always clear. To better understand these differences, it's essential to delve into the details provided by the Ecuadorian legal regulation. Firstly, a crime, as we've mentioned before, is a serious violation of criminal law. This seriousness is due to the significant impact the act has on society or a victim. Crimes are punished with more severe penalties, which can range from imprisonment to substantial fines, depending on the nature and circumstances of the illicit act. On the other hand, we have misdemeanors. These are offenses that, although also prohibited and sanctioned in the Comprehensive Organic Criminal Code, are considered less serious compared to crimes. Misdemeanors exist because, while they disrupt social order and coexistence, they don't have the same harmful impact as crimes. Sanctions for misdemeanors tend to be less strict. They are often punished with fines or even measures like community service. That is, instead of focusing on punishment, they seek a positive contribution or repair by the offender. In conclusion, while crimes and misdemeanors are both types of criminal offenses, their distinction lies in the gravity of the committed act, and consequently in the severity of the imposed sanction. It is essential to understand these differences to grasp the proportionality in our justice system. One of the most common concerns in criminal law is whether every punishment necessarily involves time in prison. The Ecuadorian legal system, in its quest to be fair and proportional, has clear answers. The first thing we should understand is that jail or imprisonment is only one of the many tools the penal system has to punish crimes. Its use is generally reserved for more serious crimes or cases where a more severe measure is needed to protect society or ensure the offender does not reoffend. However, not all crimes result in jail time. There are non-custodial penalties that aim more at rehabilitating the offender or repairing the harm done. For instance, fines and economic sanctions imposed to compensate for the harm and discourage future offenses. Community service is another penalty type. Through this, the offender positively contributes to society by performing community tasks, allowing for compensation and gradual reintegration. There are also penalties such as the suspension of certain rights, which temporarily limits certain freedom or capabilities of the offender, such as suspending a driver's license or practicing a profession. In short, the Ecuadorian penal system is diverse and always seeks a proportional response to the committed crime. Jail is just one of many possible responses, and its application depends on the severity of the act and the specific circumstances of each case. When discussing crimes, we often think of trials, courts, and lengthy legal processes. However, the Ecuadorian legal system, always looking for more efficient and fair solutions, offers alternatives to the traditional justice route. It's true that many crimes require legal proceedings before a judge. However, there are cases where, under the framework of the Comprehensive Organic Criminal Code, this path can be avoided. One such tool is criminal mediation. This offers an opportunity for the involved parties to discuss and seek mutual beneficial solution. Criminal mediation focuses on repair. Instead of focusing solely on punishing the offender, it seeks the offender's acknowledgement of their responsibility and repair of the harm done to the victim. This mechanism often allows for a faster and less traumatic resolution for all parties. It should be noted that mediation is not suitable for all crimes. It is mainly reserved for less severe offenses where an understanding between the parties seems possible. Both parties must voluntarily accept this process and be willing to discuss and commit to a agreed solution. In summary, although the trial is an essential mechanism for resolving crimes in the Ecuadorian system, alternatives like mediation prioritize repair and restorative justice, benefiting both the victim and the offender. Justice is one of the fundamental pillars in any society. Through it seeks balance, harmony, and security for all its members. Criminal law, in particular, plays a pivotal role in this area, establishing the standards that define what is acceptable and what is not, ensuring those who breach these rules face the appropriate consequences. And although it may seem complex and sometimes intimidating, it's crucial that as citizens we understand its foundations. And in Solidum Lawyers, we not only work with the law, but we are passionate about bringing it closer to people, deciphering its language and making it more comprehensible to everyone. That's why we strive every day to offer a clear and precise guide in this vast legal world. We understand that behind every inquiry or case there are stories, concerns, and hopes, and we commit to being there for each of our clients and followers. If you find yourself with doubts or in need of a specialized advice, do not hesitate to reach out to us. At In Solidum Lawyers, you will always be received with professionalism and dedication. Thank you for joining us today on this educational journey. We hope to see you soon, and may you have a day filled with justice and fairness.